If you've watched the NFL over the past few years, you've heard the debate. Is Jalen Hurts one of the league's elite quarterbacks, or just a product of a loaded Eagles roster? Depending on who you ask, he's either a top 5 talent or someone riding the coattails of the best offensive line in football. But when you look past the hot takes, what's the truth? Is Jalen Hurts overrated, or is he quietly one of the most underrated leaders in the game today? To answer that, you have to understand who Jalen Hurts really is, and how he stacks up against the names we constantly put above him. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. These are the guys who dominate every top quarterback conversation. They fill highlight reels, lead MVP discussions, and are plastered all over primetime. But while Hurts doesn't always have the flash or the viral throws, he brings something that's harder to quantify: control. The type of command that keeps teams calm when chaos erupts. Born in Houston, Texas in 1998, Hurts was molded by a father who coached football with a military-like mindset. Work ethic wasn't optional, it was expected. That quiet discipline followed him through Alabama, where he became the first true freshman to start for Nick Saban in over 3 decades. At just 18, he was leading a national powerhouse. He took them to 2 straight national championship games, and when he lost his starting spot to Tua Tagovailoa, he didn't walk away bitter. He stayed, supported his team, and later came off the bench to save Alabama in the SEC championship. That moment told the world something about Hurts that goes deeper than stats ever could. When he transferred to Oklahoma, it wasn't to chase revenge. It was to chase growth. Under Lincoln Riley, he became a complete offensive weapon. He threw for nearly 4,000 yards, ran for over 1,000, and finished second in the Heisman race behind Joe Burrow. His ability to adapt and evolve was clear, but when the 2020 NFL draft arrived, the league wasn't sure what to make of him. Some scouts called him a gadget quarterback. Others said he'd never be accurate enough to lead an NFL offense. The Philadelphia Eagles thought differently. They saw something rare: poise, maturity, leadership. When they took him 53rd overall, critics called it a waste of a pick. They already had Carson Wentz, but history would prove that decision right. Hurts doesn't wow people with 70-yard bombs across his body. He doesn't deliver wild improvisation highlights. Instead, he dismantles teams methodically, drive by drive, decision by decision. Some call it boring, others call it leadership. His teammates call it trust. When you look deeper, Hurts' efficiency stands out. In 2022, his passer rating under pressure ranked among the league's best. He was top 5 in rushing touchdowns, but also among the lowest in turnover-worthy plays. He didn't just make plays, he made the right plays. Compare that to Josh Allen, who's explosive but often reckless, leading the league in red zone turnovers. Or Justin Herbert, whose arm talent is elite, but whose teams often crumble late. Even Joe Burrow, as gifted as he is, has dealt with more inconsistency from week to week. Hurts, on the other hand, delivers consistency, and consistency is what separates leaders from highlight chasers. The 2023 season wasn't perfect. The Eagles started hot but fell apart late, finishing 11-6 and losing early in the playoffs. Hurts dealt with a nagging knee injury, and at times the offense looked stagnant. Critics were quick to return, claiming he was exposed without the perfect system around him. But even in adversity, he showed the same mental toughness that defined him at Alabama. He never deflected blame, never complained, never pointed fingers. That's what makes the debate so interesting. Is Hurts overrated because he benefits from great teammates, or underrated because we refuse to see his value beyond stats? Mahomes may be the most talented, Burrow might be the most precise, Lamar could be the most electrifying, but Hurts might be the most complete, the rare balance of runner, passer, and leader who wins in every phase of the game. He embodies the modern quarterback prototype: adaptable, calm, and unshaken by pressure. When you strip away the noise, you realize Hurts doesn't fit the usual categories. He's not chasing records like Mahomes, not trying to out-athlete defenses like Lamar, and not living off hype like others. He's chasing legacy. And legacy, for Jalen Hurts, isn't about being the loudest. It's about being the last one standing. So, is Jalen Hurts overrated? If you're comparing him to the pure arm talent of Patrick Mahomes or the flair of Lamar Jackson, maybe. But if you value leadership, discipline, and the kind of poise that keeps a franchise together, then Jalen Hurts is one of the most underrated players in football today. Because greatness isn't always about the flashiest throws or biggest contracts. It's about consistency, respect, and the belief that every time you take the field, your teammates know you'll do whatever it takes to win. And that's exactly who Jalen Hurts is. A quarterback who doesn't just play the game, he commands it. A leader who doesn't talk much, but whose silence speaks louder than most players' highlight reels. He may never be the flashiest name on a list, but when history looks back, it'll remember the one thing that truly mattered, that Jalen Hurts was never overrated.